guys, Marty Schwartz here with Marty Music, and this is another episode of Riff Theory, where I take iconic guitar riffs and break down the theory, the structure, techniques behind it, so you can implement it into your own playing. So, Wish You Were Here is one of the most famous guitar riffs intros of all time. However, Wonderwall is also one of the most classic, songs of all time on acoustic guitar as well. And they're really using all the same kind of stuff. So I just want to talk about the theory behind that and maybe why we like the sound of those chords and movements so much. The Wonderwall thing, I'm doing it to you. But really, it's more the Wish You Were Here thing. And it's also going to bring up just some other concepts that I think are really cool on the guitar. But let's talk about Wish You Were Here. I think of that intro as the key of G major. But the concept is, you hear, it's almost like the chord, like a G, for instance, is keeping the tones as the bass line moves. Now, Wish You Were Here, it's, there's a lick too. But that's always staying. Let's see, I don't know, what is it, capo second fret. Not the same song, but here we are. Right. Same idea. Okay, so I'll just take the capo off, go back to our regular G open position here. Now, the key of G major has a G chord. Also, it has every open string in it, the key of G major. So that means any of the chords in the key also would have, if a chord progression sounds like it fits together, it feels like it all fits, then you can keep notes because it means it's from the same scale, same key, same pool of notes that we're pulling from, right? So if we go, that's a G major chord. We got the root, major third, fifth, root again. Right now I'm playing the fifth again and then the root again. If I took that off, it's the major third. We're going to keep that, right? Well, if I go like this, it's now called C add 9, but it's still all from that same pool of notes, the same scale. And what we're getting is that note, usually a C chord, root, major third, perfect fifth, and then typically we have the root again. But instead we're playing a D. It's from the key, it's from the scale, but it's a new color. And so that's a 9. A D is a 9. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then on top there is a G note, which is the fifth. Normally in a C chord, the open high E is the major third, which is part of C major. But when we do it this way, we got that fifth instead, right there. If I went like that, that's still a C add 9. Well, if I do this, like in, well, that's an E minor It's got the open E as the lowest note, the root. Perfect fifth, octave. G is the minor third of E, which makes it E minor. The D note is the minor 7, and the G note there is the minor third again. So we would call this E minor 7. If I did that, it's still E minor 7. I just have the octave root on top, but that's the minor third on top. So you have G major, that's a C add 9. When we play it this, it's E minor 7. Now when we do this, in the key of G major, it's typically A minor would be the 2 chord, it's called. We're not hearing that, right, when we go up. Our ear is hearing A major there, which is like a borrowed chord, theoretically. But we're not really playing A major when we go, when we do this. So let's take a look. It's, holding those notes like we did with the other chords. So it's an A note. So that's a root, perfect fifth, octave again. So it's just the power chord. When I add the D note there, that is the fourth, and it's playing instead of a minor third or a major third. So it's called suspended fourth. But that note on top, a G note with the A root, is a flat 7. So this makes it an A7 sus 4, because it's an A7 because of a G note in there. It's a sus 4 because it doesn't have a third, it has a fourth instead of the third, which makes it suspended, and it's the fourth tone up from A. Now if I think of a D chord, which is in the key of G major as well, what do we get? Well, that's a D, that's our root, and then that's the fifth, so that's like a power chord. That's the root again, a D note, that B string. Root 5, 3, root 5, root 5, root 5, root. Normally with a D major chord, we have the major third right there, which is F sharp, but we're not doing that. We've got the G in there. G is the suspended fourth of D. G is 4 up from D. Usually it's the major third to make it D major, but we don't have that. So instead, we call that D sus 4. But that brings up another concept, which, I mean, sometimes you call it the pedaling concept, but it's taking, let's say, one like triad or chord shape from a key, and then moving the bass lines, but keeping that same triad. Or, another great example is the land of A7, a more bluesy thing, but I'm playing little, basically triads, while keeping that A. I mean, it's one way to look at it, but our ear likes to hear the context of notes changing over that bass line, and it's in lots of different songs. Now it's the opposite. The bass notes are moving, and that triad's staying the same. Now while we're here, let's look at the G major pentatonic scale. So it's O, well the root's 3, but you have open 3, open 2, open 2, open 2, open 3, open 3. And the opposite, 3-0, 3-0, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, 3-0, 3. And so any of the chords, G, A minor, E minor, C, D, you can combine the scale. So mess around with that. All right, hope you guys enjoyed that. Once again, let me know other riffs you'd like to see me break down in the comments below. I'd love for you to subscribe to the channel. Also links below for free courses, other killer bonuses. Really appreciate you guys, appreciate your continued support, and hope to see you in another video real soon. Take care.